Seeing that his son is not treated like a hero, the fourth takes Naruto to the world of Percy Jackson. With the both of them demigods and powerful ones at that, will they survive their time in this strange world? And who is the girl in the tree? Chapter 17, Time to Stretch. Naruto, Prince of the Underworld. Chapter 17. It was Annabeth's idea. She loaded the group into the back of a Vegas taxi as if they actually had money, and told the driver, Los Angeles, please. The cabbie chewed his cigar and sized them up. That's 300 miles. For that, you gotta pay up front. You accept casino debit cards? Annabeth asked. He shrugged. Some of them. Same as credit cards. I gotta swipe them through first. Annabeth handed him her green Lotus Cash card. He looked at it skeptically. Swipe it. Annabeth invited. He did. His meter machine started rattling. The lights flashed. Finally an infinity symbol came up next to the dollar sign. Whoa, Naruto said. Ha, good thing I kept mine. The cigar fell out of the driver's mouth. He looked back at us, his eyes wide. Where to in Los Angeles? Your Highness. The Santa Monica Pier. Annabeth sat up a little straighter. Naruto eyed her. Then Percy, and he could tell that Percy could tell that Annabeth was enjoying the Your Highness thing a lot. Get us there fast, and you can keep the change. However, maybe she should not have told the man that, because his speedometer never dipped below 95 the whole way through the Mojave Desert. On the way there, Percy began to tell them about his recent dream, which Naruto commented on. Because he too had a similar dream. Though, there was one name the two of them could not remember, the nickname of that being that taunted them. All that they could remember is that it ended in one. The Silent One. Annabeth suggested. The Rich One? Both of those are nicknames for Hades. Maybe. Percy said, but he felt that the name was wrong. That throne room sounds like Hades's. Grover said. That's the way it's usually described. Something's wrong. The throne room wasn't the main part of the dream. And that voice from the pit? I don't know. It just didn't feel like a god's voice, said Percy. Annabeth's eyes widened while Naruto shrugged. Who knows what it is? We just know it is evil. No, it has to be Hades. Annabeth demanded. Maybe he sent this thief, this invisible person, to get the Master Bolt, and something went wrong. You are really set on my dad being the bad guy, Naruto grumbled. Annabeth gave him a look and he raised his hands in defense. All right, I get he was the bad guy in the past, but people change, no matter what they are. I hope you are right. Percy replied. I understand that, but if he stole Zeus's symbol of power from Olympus, and the gods were hunting him, I mean, a lot of things could go wrong. So this thief had to hide the bolt, or he lost it somehow. Anyway, he failed to bring it to Hades. That's what the voice said in your dreams, right? The guy failed. That would explain what the Furies were searching for when they came after us on the bus. Maybe they thought we had retrieved the bolt. But if we would have already retrieved the bolt, Percy said, why would we be traveling to the underworld? Good question. Naruto replied, that is something the three old ladies should have taken to heart, or they're afraid of something. To threaten Hades, Grover suggested. To bribe or blackmail him into getting your mom back. You have evil thoughts for a goat. Percy deadpanned. Why, thank you. Are we rubbing of Anya? Naruto commented with a smirk and one eye open. I don't know. Grover shrugged. The thing in the pit also said it was waiting for two items, Percy said. If the Master Bolt is one, what's the other? Grover and Naruto looked at each other, then at Percy and shrugged. You have an idea what might be in that pit, don't you? Percy asked Annabeth, but for some reason, he could tell she did not want him ask it. I mean, if it isn't Hades. Percy, let's not talk about it. Because if it isn't Hades. No, it has to be Hades. She replied. Yeah, compared to what is in there, I guess you guys would want it to be dear old dad. Naruto said with his eyes closed. Annabeth seemed slightly relieved after that, but just a bit. Wasteland rolled by as well as a sign that said California State Line, 12 miles. Along the way, Percy stared out the window thinking about the quest while Naruto had his eyes shut tight, trying to make sense of this quest. The answer is in the underworld, Annabeth assured them. You two saw spirits of the dead. There's only one place that could be. We're doing the right thing. She tried to boost the morale by suggesting clever strategies for getting into the land of the dead, but Percy seemed disheartened by it. There were just too many unknown factors. It was like cramming for a test without knowing the subject. That thought Naruto could not help but chuckle about. He had seen Percy do that and it was a laugh fest. The cab sped west. Every gust of wind through Death Valley sounded like a spirit of the dead. Every time the brakes hissed on an 18-wheeler, it reminded the boys of Echidna's reptilian voice. At sunset, the taxi dropped us at the beach in Santa Monica. It looked exactly the way LA beaches do in the movies, only it smelled worse. There were carnival rides lining the pier, palm trees lining the sidewalks, homeless guys sleeping in the sand dunes, and surfer dudes waiting for the perfect wave. As they walked down to the edge of the surf, Annabeth asked, "What now?" "Yeah, I got no clue," Naruto deadpanned, "but Waterboy might." He pointed to the son of the sea, who was walking in the water. "Percy," Annabeth said. "What are you doing?" He was neck deep when the she called out again. "You know how polluted that water is? There are all kinds of toxic," though he just ignored her as he went under. "Gee, Annabeth, afraid for his health in his own element?" Naruto asked with a smirk. "Oh, shut it," she replied with a red face. Naruto sighed and looked out onto the water. The setting sun was making the water look gold. It was hard to believe that Percy and his dad could control all of this. He slowly walked toward the water himself. He sent chakra to his feet as he stepped out onto the water. "You know, Annabeth, I am just messing with you," he said as he stared out onto the setting Sunday. "But you know, Percy is a good kid, so I am glad you took up the mantle of being one of his friends, no matter what happens." "Well, yeah, he grows on ya, like a fungus, but so do you with that personality of yours," she replied. "But yeah, no matter what happens I will always be his friend." "Yeah, same here," Grover commented. Naruto smiled while turning to them with the sun at his back. "Good, because that is how true comrades operate. Grover, I think Percy has his part to do in the days to come, but as his best friends, so do we. We gotta protect him as he would do that same thing. Annabeth, you're a good friend to him and I am glad for that. But you also act like a nagging mom." He heard a huff from said girl and he lightly chuckled. "Though that is not necessarily a bad thing considering you're the one who keeps us in line." Annabeth chuckled. "That is a full-time job with you three numbskulls." That got an indignant hey from the two. "So yeah, I am glad you became our friend, especially Percy's," Naruto said and then disappeared and reappeared while leaning on the girl with his elbow. "But you know, I am getting the feeling that you two will be more in the future." She looked at him like he was nuts and stepping away, making him fall on the sand. "Don't count on it." Picking himself up and brushing the sand off, he said, "Well, nothing is set in stone, so you never know." And he let it at that as Percy emerged from the water, already dry. "What's up, Waterboy?" Percy tripped a bit at that before he told them about the Nereid and her words and gifts. He even showed them the 4 pearls. Annabeth grimaced. "No gift comes without a price. They were free." "No." She shook her head. "There is no such thing as a free lunch. That's an ancient Greek saying that translated pretty well into American. There will be a price. You wait. Guess that is universal." Then Naruto commented and got odd looks, but he waved them off. On that happy note, they turned their backs to the sea as made their way to another cab. Percy, for some reason, decided to use the spare change from the Aries pack. Naruto could fathom why he was not used the blonde's money or the Lotus cards they got, but he shrugged it off. They showed the address that Percy got from Auntie M's place. But the driver had never heard of the place called DOA Recording Studios. While looked from his rear-view mirror, the driver asked Percy, "Hey, you remind me of somebody I saw on TV. You a child actor or something?" Naruto gained an oh shit smile while Percy made a good cover-up. I'm a stunt double, for a lot of child actors." "Oh, that explains it," the driver said, while Naruto breathed a sigh of relief. "I think it is best we get off here," Annabeth stated as they pulled to a stop at a stoplight. They wandered for miles on foot, looking for DOA. Nobody seemed to know where it was. It didn't appear in the phone book. Along the way, they had to duck in the alleys so the cops wouldn't find them. Besides, with their rep right now, they could not afford to get caught with their quest just about over. As they walked, Naruto noticed that Percy had froze in front of an appliance store. He stopped to when he saw it. Curious, Annabeth and Grover backtracked to watch as well. A television was playing an interview with somebody who looked very familiar, Percy's stepdad, Smelly Gabe. He was talking to Barbara Walters, as if he were some kind of huge celebrity. She was interviewing him in his apartment, in the middle of a poker game, and there was a young blonde lady sitting next to him, patting his hand. A fake tear glistened on his cheek. He was saying, "Honest, Ms. Walters, if it wasn't for Sugar here, my grief counselor, I'd be a wreck. My stepson took everything I cared about. My wife, my Camaro. I'm sorry. I have trouble talking about it. There you have it, America." Barbara Walters turned to the camera. "A man torn apart. An adolescent boy with serious issues. Let me show you, again, the last known photo of this troubled young fugitive, taken a week ago in Denver." The screen cut to a grimy photo of the four of them, standing outside the Colorado diner, talking to Aries. "Who are the other children in this photo?" Barbara Walters asked dramatically. "Who is the man with them? Is Percy Jackson a delinquent, a terrorist, or perhaps the brainwashed victim of a frightening new cult?" When we come back, we chat with a leading child psychologist. Stay tuned, America. "Oh, you have got to be kidding me," growl out Naruto with a twitching eyebrow. When we get back, "Gabe is so getting it. Come on," Grover said as he pulled a fuming Naruto and a shell-shocked Percy away from the TV. "I can't believe Gabe. That guy was an ass before, but this just takes the cake," Naruto ranted. "And how you could put up with the guy is beyond me. Most of the time I can't," Percy said, now shaking in rage. It got dark, and hungry-looking characters started coming out on the streets to play. Now normally they wouldn't have to worry, because Percy was a New Yorker and he was used to this stuff, and Naruto was a ninja who dealt with things tougher than this. Of course, LA had a totally different feel from New York. Naruto, having lived in New York for some time now, knew how to get around the city without getting lost, no matter where he was. The same could be said for Percy, but they were in a new city, and were having a hell of a time getting around. In New York, the street patterns and the subway made sense. There was a system to how things worked. A kid could be safe as long as he wasn't stupid. But as LA, it was a chaotic mess and everything was spread out. It wasn't enough for LA to be big, it had to prove it was big by being loud and strange and difficult to navigate, too. They walked past gangbangers, bums, and street hawkers, who looked at them like they were trying to figure if the four of them were worth the trouble of mugging. Naruto took one look at them and mumbled, "I swear, this place is worse than Tanzuko Town," before he discreetly took out his Minotaur blade and channeled some chakra to it, creating a genjutsu that showed them guarded by a few of the man bulls. The thugs all paled before they turned around, minding their own business. Annabeth turned just in time to see her fellow blonde putting away his blade by making it turn back into a charm. "I am not sure if I should berate or hug you for that. By the way, what did you even do?" "That's right, I never told you what my Minotaur blade could do." Naruto said. He pounded his fist like he just remembered something. "It has the special ability to create a genjutsu to my liking." "Genjutsu? You mean like an illusion?" Grover asked, having heard that word before. "Yep," chirped the blonde ninja. "So what do you make this see?" asked Percy. "Oh, just us being guarded by a few Minotaurs, though from their perspective, guess all they really saw was a bunch of big burly guys," Naruto explained. "Oh, that blade is what you made with the Hephaestus kids, nice." Percy smirked. "I could make you one too if ya want," Naruto offered. "Let's just get through this quest before we make any promises," Grover injected, though he was still impressed. That little scare though worked on only one set of enemies, however, for as soon as they passed an ally, they heard, "Hey, you." They stopped, but they should not have, because a group of thug-looking kids appeared from the ally and surrounded them. There were 6 of them in all, white kids with expensive clothes and mean faces. Like the kids at Yancey Academy, rich brats playing at being bad boys. Without thinking much about it, Percy brought out Riptide. The sword appearing out of nowhere made a lot of the group back off, but the leader, being stupid or brave, not that it mattered, walked up to them with a switchblade ready. Naruto widened his eyes when Percy swung his sword, but was shocked that it just passed through the kid. Said kid flinched instinctively before he figured out what happened. In that time, Percy finally got smart and yelled for his friends to run. Grover and Annabeth pushed 2 of the kids away before they got to Percy. Naruto high-kicked them in the face, allowing some more time for Percy to get away. Having recovered, the leader threw his knife at Naruto. However, the blonde-haired ninja caught between 2 fingers before he threw it back. The leader was caught off guard as it plunged into his right arm. Grimacing in pain, the kid took out a gun and fired, making Percy, Annabeth, and Grover to look back in horror. However, that turned to shock at what they saw. Naruto pulled out a kunai as time seemed to slow down for him. He channeled wind-natured chakra into the kunai and swung downward, slicing the bullet in half and colliding with the two idiots that tried to sneak up on him. The fragments hit them in their shoulders, send them back on their asses. When Naruto turned to flee, the leader yelled, "Arg! Get them!" while pulling out the switchblade as the remaining thugs blocked Naruto's way. Thinking quickly, Naruto ran to the side, running along the wall as he reached a dumpster before he flipped off just the switchblade hit the place he was at. He landed next to the other three in his group. He stared at their gawking faces for about 2 seconds before stating, "Don't just stand there. Run." They quickly followed the blonde before Annabeth spotted a store that was open. There. The only open store on the block looked open, its windows glaring with neon. The sign above the door said something like Krista's Water Bde Alpace. Krusty's Waterbed Palace. Grover translated. What? Did Krusty the Clown escape TV land or something? Naruto commented as they ran toward it. Well, he is not the only weird thing that made their world to our world. Annabeth commented with a smirk. The blonde ninja gave her a deadpanned look. "I laughing hysterically on the inside," he said as they burst through the doors, ran behind a water bed, and ducked. A split second later, the gang kids ran past outside. "I think we lost them," Grover panted. A voice behind them boomed, "Lost who?" making them jump 6 feet into the air. Standing behind them was a guy who looked like a raptor in a leisure suit. He was at least 7 feet tall, with absolutely no hair. He had gray, leathery skin, thick-lidded eyes, and a cold, reptilian smile. He moved toward them slowly, and it was kind of scary. His suit might have come from the Lotus Casino. It belonged back in the 70s, big time. The shirt was silk paisley, unbuttoned halfway down his hairless chest. The lapels on his velvet jacket were as wide as landing strips. The silver chains around his neck were just too many to count. "I'm Krusty," he said, with a tartar yellow smile. Naruto eye twitched. "Okay, must be related to that clown, the teeth are the same." "Sorry to barge in," Percy told him. "We were just, browsing." "You mean hiding from those no-good kids," he grumbled. "They hang around every night. I get a lot of people in here, thanks to them." "Say, you want to look at a water bed?" They were about to say now, but he put a giant paw on Percy's shoulder, guiding him around. So, others followed, grumbling under their breath. There was every kind of water bed you could imagine, different kinds of wood, different patterns of sheets, queen size, king size, emperor of the universe size. "This is my most popular model." Krusty spread his hands proudly over a bed covered with black satin sheets, with built-in lava lamps on the headboard. The mattress vibrated, so it looked like oil-flavored Jell-O. "Million hand massage," Krusty told them. "Go on, try it out. Shoot, take a nap. I don't care. No business today, anyway." Percy said, "I don't think." "Million hand massage," Grover cried, and dove in. "Oh, you guys? This is cool." Krusty said, stroking his leathery chin. Almost. Almost what?" Percy asked. He looked at Annabeth. "Do me a favor and try this one over here, honey. Might fit." He patted her reassuringly on the shoulder and led her over to the Safari Deluxe model with teakwood lions carved into the frame and a leopard-patterned comforter. When Annabeth didn't want to lie down, Krusty pushed her. "Hey," she protested. By now, Naruto had already made his way onto a bed. Something about this doesn't sit right, he thought. Stores don't usually let people do this, even if there was no business. That is when he shot up in the bed, realizing what this place was, but it was already too late. Krusty snapped his fingers. Ergo. Robes sprang from the sides of the bed, lashing around Annabeth, holding her to the mattress. Grover tried to get up, but ropes sprang from his black satin bed, too, and lashed him down. The ropes quickly swung around Naruto, bringing him back down on the bed. "And not CC cool," Grover yelled, his voice vibrating from the million-hand massage. "And not C cool A at all. Ah shit, I should have seen this crap happening." Naruto grimaced as he grabbed the ropes, trying to keep them from pull at him. The giant looked at Annabeth, then turned toward Percy and grinned. "Almost, darn it." Percy tried to step away, but the man's hand shot out and clamped around the back of his neck. "Whoa, kid. Don't worry. We'll find you one in a sec. Let my Friends go, "Oh, sure I will. But I got to make them fit first." "What do you mean? All the beds are exactly 6 feet, see? Your friends are too short. Got to make them fit." Percy turned in horror, seeing his friends struggle in pain. "Can't stand imperfect measurements," Krusty muttered. Ergo. A new set of ropes leaped out from the top and bottom of the beds, wrapping around Grover, Naruto, and Annabeth's ankles, then around their armpits. The ropes started tightening, pulling them from both ends, though Naruto was doing a pretty good job at resisting. "Don't worry," Krusty told Percy, "these are stretching jobs. Maybe 3 extra inches on their spines. They might even live. Now why don't we find a bed you like, huh?" "Percy!" Grover yelled. "Arg! I am so going to rip you to shreds when I get out of this." Naruto angrily spat out. Percy noticed that his friend was also give him the use your brain look. Looking back at Krusty, Percy asked, "Your real name's not Krusty, is it?" "Legally, it's Percy Rusts," he admitted. "The stretcher," Percy said, remembering the story, the giant who tried to kill Theseus with excess hospitality on his way to Athens. "Not good. I knew it. Damn it," Naruto thought. Angrily. "Yeah," the salesman said. "But who can pronounce Percy Rusts? Bad for business." "Now Krusty, anybody can say that." "You're right. It's got a good ring to it," Percy replied, getting an idea. Krusty's eyes lit up. "You think so?" "Oh, absolutely," Percy said. "And the workmanship on these beds? Fabulous." He grinned hugely, but his fingers didn't loosen on Percy's neck just yet. "I tell my customers that every time. Nobody bothers to look at the workmanship. How many built-in lava lamp headboards have you seen? Not too many." "That's right, Percy," Annabeth yelled. "What are you doing?" "Don't mind her," Percy told Percy Rusts. "She's impossible." "Oh smooth one, but hurry the fuck up water boy, this shit hurts." The giant laughed. "All my customers are never 6 feet exactly. So inconsiderate. And then they complain about the fitting." "What do you do if they're longer than 6 feet?" Percy asked with fake curiosity. "Oh, that happens all the time. It's a simple fix." He let go of Percy's neck, but before the water boy could react, he reached behind a nearby sales desk and brought out a huge double-bladed brass axe. He said, "I just center the subject as best I can and lop off whatever hangs over on either end." "Oh, you have to be shitting me," Naruto yelled. "Please don't mind my blonde friend," Percy nervously said, trying to save his friend's hide. He gulped and looked at the axe. "That does seem sensible. I'm so glad to come across an intelligent customer," the sales giant proclaimed. Percy chanced to glance a look at his friends. Those ropes were really taking a toll on them. Annabeth looked pale, Grover was making gurgling sounds, like a strangled goose, and Naruto had a very red face. The strain seemed to pissing him off, or it was just from stress. "So, Krusty," Percy said as he turned back to the giant man, trying to keep his voice light. He glanced at the sales tag on the Valentine-shaped honeymoon special. "Does this one really have dynamic stabilizers to stop wave motion?" "Absolutely. Try it out." "Yeah, maybe I will. But would it work even for a big guy like you?" "No waves at all. Guaranteed." "No way." "Show me," Percy said as he folded his arm with a skeptical expression. Krusty sat down eagerly on the bed, patted the mattress. "No waves. See?" Percy smirked as he snapped his fingers. Ergo. Rope slashed around Krusty and flattened him against the mattress. "Hey," he yelled. "Center him just right," Percy commanded of the ropes, and surprisingly they did. Krusty's whole head stuck out the top. His feet stuck out the bottom. "No," he said in a panicked state, realizing he had just been duped. "Wait. This is just a demo. A few simple adjustments." Percy as he uncapped Riptide, ready to lop off Krusty's head. "You drive a hard bargain," Krusty tried to bargain. "I'll give you 30% off on selected floor models. I think I'll start with the top." Percy raised his sword. "No money down? No interest for 6 months. Oh, just lop his fucking head off already," shouted Naruto from his position. Percy did so and watched as the man turned to gold dust like all the other monster they had seen. Did the water boy quickly cut the ropes off of everyone, and there was a lot cursing and groaning after he did that. "You look taller," Percy said, looking at them. "Very funny," Annabeth said. "Be faster next time." "A hell of a lot faster next time," Naruto grumbled as he rubbed his arms. But hopefully there won't be a next time with that psycho. Percy looked at the bulletin board behind Krusty's sales desk, ignoring their complaining at the moment. There was an advertisement for Hermes delivery service, and another for the all-new compendium of LA area monsters, the only monstrous yellow pages you'll ever need. Under that, a bright orange flyer for DOA recording studios, offering commissions for heroes' souls. We are always looking for new talent. DOA's address was right underneath with a map. Come on, Percy said as he walked to the door, Naruto following him quickly as he was ready to get the hell of this store. Give us a minute, Grover complained. We were almost stretched to death. Then you're ready for the underworld, Percy said. It's only a block from here. Oh joy, Naruto replied sarcastically. Time to meet dear old dad. Okay guy, I have some big news. Yes, we are almost done with this book. For those of you reading my alternate dimension series, the reason I am going to be late on this is because I am working on something big. I will give you all a hint. A crossover in a crossover. Anyway, seeing that his son is not treated